There's all sorts of steps leading up to that final goal, and with those steps, the church keeps giving particular graces. And so the very first step that a seminarian takes is receiving in his cassock, and then the clerical tonsure.
By the tonsure, a seminarian becomes a cleric. He enters into the hierarchy of the Catholic Church. He is, so to speak, set apart from the rest of men by the tonsure. That is the first preliminary step, after which there are 6 steps. The 4 minor orders and the 2 major orders. And all of them are new steps, new progressions towards the priesthood. And every single step brings the seminarian closer and closer to the altar.
The second step that the seminarian takes is the first minor order of porter. And on the practical side, as a seminarian, the porter locks and unlocks the church doors and rings the bells for the ceremonies. The next step is the minor order of lector.
The lector not only allows souls into the church, the worthy souls into the church, but he now teaches them the catechism. He now prepares their minds, so to speak, for the worship of God. After the lector, we have the minor order of exorcist.
The exorcist is given the power by the church, even before he's in major orders, to drive out the devil from souls.
After exorcist, we have the last of the minor orders, which is that of acolyte. He now has a more direct participation in the sacrifice of the Mass because he presents the wine and the water, which are the matter that will be consecrated into the blood of Christ. After the 4 minor orders, we have the 2 major orders of the subdiaconate and the diaconate.
The next step of the seminarian is literally a step.
The step that the subdeacon takes during the subdiaconate represents the complete offering of himself to God in order to be an instrument of God for the salvation of souls.
At that point, the bishop says, if you so choose that, come forward freely. And then the candidates take one large step forward in the sanctuary to show their will to receive the subdiaconate. The role of the subdeacon is to sing the epistles, to pour the drop of water into the chalice for the holy sacrifice of the Mass, and to clean the chalice linens.
And then lastly, we have the major order of the diaconate, the last step before the priesthood. And the deacon is simply the minister to the priest. He is at his right hand almost throughout the entire sacrifice.
And so all those steps, starting at the very beginning, the separation from the world and all the different graces that the seminarian receives, they all build up and sort of join together until they're ready for that final grace, which is the sacred character of the priesthood.
Our Lord himself said, "No greater love has a man than that a man lay down his life for his friends." And sometimes we hear that quote and we think somehow this refers only to the martyrs. But this quote applies equally to the young man who goes to the seminary, who says, looking at our Lord, I want to be a priest, or at least I want to give my life